Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support of the channel. Doing well, we're doing well. Hey, let's talk about team play. Team play. A lot of people talk about that. They'll get on the forums, they'll be talking about how they're a team player and the only reason I lose is I'm a team player, nobody else is, and that kind of stuff. Well, what is that? What exactly is team play, and do those people actually understand what team play is? Now, clearly, if you get in and spot a bunch of bad guys and get damage on them and push in and drop 3,000 yourself and help the team, then that's kind of a form of team play. Sure, you helped the team, you did well. If you sit back and farm and do 3,000 and lose, then that's probably not team play. So a couple of examples of what it might be and what it might not be. But what are some of the other things you can do in this game, team play wise, to help your team? One of the biggest ones is positioning. Facilitating a win by putting yourself in a spot that is advantageous to the team and helping the rest of the team. And often that spot, that positioning, not often, but sometimes, let's say, that spot or positioning does not give you a lot of damage, does not give you a bunch of spotting, but it causes the enemy team problems and it limits their ability to react to what your team's doing. So let's take a look at this. We've got a bunch of guys stacked up over there on the east. A bunch of my team is over there. I'm top tier in a 3-5-7, so I should have a good game, or at least a decent one. There are a few Muppets down on the beach, and you can see that our 130 Hellcat Leo and T25 AT are all camping back there. Now the T29, in all fairness, had a really good game over there. Did pretty well, so he's over there clogging up the middle. And I am over here with a bunch of guys that are very timid. They're forward at least, but they're not really pushing. There's some TDs back in the corner in the northeast, and I am holding this middle spot so that the guys at the T26E4, the Su-100, do not get flanked by somebody dropping into this bowl and causing them trouble. And I am moving back and forth and keeping the enemy team honest. Unfortunately, I get a really unlucky bounce right there as he puts a good angle right at the end game when I take my shot. And this position here is one of the key positions on this map. So as far as team play, I've taken my tank and put it where it needs to be based on the way the game is being played. Now, if I started getting pushed here, then that would be very bad, except that I've got a bunch of friends back in the back. There goes the Igor Hotchkiss. He gets eaten by all those guys up behind there sniping. But you'll notice I'm not getting a whole lot of help as far as these guys pushing up and getting up and over and taking shots. Now, I don't want to expose myself too long there. There are a bunch of TDs back in the back corner. And there is this Pershing we've got to deal with. So here he comes. Get a shot on him. Get by him. I choose not to go up and over because, again, all the TDs are sitting there and a couple that are unspotted. Maybe even in the back corner on A45 or so. And finally, starting to entice my friends to move up. And this poor Super Pershing gets hammered by an artillery. Pershing starts understanding that he's in trouble because we're folding around behind him, so he starts to move off. Took us a while for us to do that, but eventually we were able to make him leave. Super's pushing in, and now we've got the Pershing isolated. So we'll come up over here and we'll start working on one of their tier 8s, one of their 3 top tiers. Take the opportunity to get in here. I know I'm going to eat a shot. That's fine. I got a free one on his side. Had a free one earlier. We'll blap him. Super Pershing's going in there. And I've got a whole 1,370 hit points. Now, it's starting to become a raffle stomp. That's good. It's going to be all about clean up on aisle 2. I'm going to come in here and get an unlucky RNG roll. I don't quite let it zoom in enough, thinking somebody else would get the kill, but I miss. The T29 is going to get some more damage here. He's done a really nice job down here, keeping these guys busy. We'll kill off that guy. There goes an ISU. That's one of their tier 8s. That's a good thing. And now it's all over but the shouting. I don't end up with any more hit points in here. So we'll go ahead and pause it, and our team folds these guys up, the last 3 TDs up in the corner. One example of many team play, things like blocking shots, taking shots for near deads in order to keep them in the game. That's always dangerous on a pub game. Who knows, maybe you're blocking a shot for a Muppet and he doesn't do anything the rest of the game. But there are a lot of these little things, subjective things, that you can do to help your team win. And that's just one example there. I took some critical terrain. I wasn't being pressed. The enemy team was very passive. I noticed that, and I started keeping them honest so that eventually our west push guys can figure out how to get in there get some shots, and start killing guys. Ended up only with the 1,391, but the big thing there is that I add another W onto the win-loss column. Now you'll probably go, well, Guido, you weren't the only reason your team won. Your team kind of rolled them up every way, or where, everywhere, and that's true. But I had a big part to play in that by taking that critical terrain and not allowing the enemy team to control that side of the map, so that they got folded up faster. Right, folded up faster. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. Think about it. Team play, sometimes it doesn't really show. I've talked about it a bit with the wheeled tanks, especially the chaos they can cause. You can do the same thing by taking critical pieces of the map and causing chaos, or not allowing the enemy tanks to leverage that area. That's just one example of it. Take it easy. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you.